Hey, y'all know how you was watching Toy Story. Every time the kid come in the room, the toys will lay down, act like they ain't got no life in them. When the kid leave, though, they got a whole bunch of life in them. They got another life in them. They're spirited. Yeah, that's real. That's real, people. Like that's not something that doesn't happen. That is a real deal. I tell you, people, y'all gotta get them baby dolls out of y'all house. Get the baby dolls out the house. Get anything that's an idol. Get it out of your house because spirits be entering in them idols. I'm gonna tell you something. When I was younger, you know, I used to go to this, Catholic, you know, Catholic church, and when I was real young, and one day I started having dreams. I'm trying to get this out, trying to remember it because it was so long ago. I was like 12. But one day I started having bad dreams, and I dreamed that one of the statues came alive and was chasing me down the hallway. And the statue was of Mother Mary. And there was this particular hallway that was near my bedroom. And I just remember, and it's a small hallway. Like you really hardly can't, there's just enough for two people to get by each other. So there wasn't much room for me to get anywhere. If somebody's standing in front of you, like blocking the whole joint, and there she is in white and blue, but her eyes was red. And I'm looking at her, and then she looking at me like real evil. And then she started coming at me like real quick. And I'm running. I'm a little kid, like Mother Mary's chasing me, and some people are going to be like, oh, this is blasphemous and blah, blah, blah. But you have to understand, people pray to Mary. They Hail Mary. They pray to Mary. They believe in Mother Mary, does all this stuff for them. And nowhere in the Bible is that true. Like, nowhere. But they believe because she was the blessed mother of God that she can bless them, so they pray to her. And it's like, you don't pray to Mary. That's idol worship. But when you do this, when you talk to these baby dolls, when you talk to statues, when you're playing with them and you're speaking life into these, pieces of wood or plastic or ceramic or whatever they're made of. And this is why you look at some of these videos and there'll be Jesus Christ on a cross in a church, and next thing you know, the eyes will move. You know what I mean? Or, something like that, or the head will move or something. Because you have this idol in your church, and you're speaking life into it. You're praying to this idol. You're not actually praying to the real, Yahshua, the Christ. You're praying to this idol, and you want this statue to get up and do something for you. And you got all kind of statues that are doing stuff. But people think, oh, the weeping statue that's in, I don't know, Nicaragua or something, wherever it's at. You got that going on. You got all kind of statues that are doing stuff. And you got statues that are moving. There's this one movie about angels. These angels are like bad angels. And every time you turn the lights off, the angels move and they're coming at you. They got like these teeth and whatnot, and they get closer and closer to you. Listen, that is not just a movie. That is real stuff right there. Now you have to understand, it's like heavenly angels or, hell's angels, because both places have angels, and yeah, if these angels are coming to do you wrong, it could be for a litany of things. It could be, for one, they're the angels that fell, after the war, or two, they're the angels that God sent after you. Because we all know angels throw people into hell. They're the ones that's going to toss you off of the cliff and into hell after you get judged. So, yeah, and that's a holy angel. Okay? Yeah. That is a holy angel. And all through the Bible, they talk about, angels. Every time somebody saw one, they were scared to death of what they saw because angels don't look like what we think they do. And even when they are in the form of man, that is probably not their true form. You know what I mean? So they are large. They are bro, they're the scariest thing you ever gonna see. You do not want it with any angel, But I'm saying, you guys got baby dolls and you got all kind of stuff in your house. Listen, even when I was young, I remember when I was around 4, and I used to go to my uncle's house, and my uncle used to have these baby dolls, uh, um, but they were all up in the attic because they were of the kids that grew up. He doesn't need them anymore, so he put them up in the attic because he doesn't need them anymore. The kids are grown. So when we would go see him, me and my brothers and sisters, my mom would bring us over there. They would put us in the attic, so that's where we slept. With blankets and all. It was comfortable, but I remember looking at these dolls, and I would be staring at them all night, just waiting for them to move. Now, none of them did, but I'm staring at them for a reason because I'm like, I know this doll has life in it, and I'm like 4 years old. I'm like, I know you're alive. You're not fooling anyone. If I close my eyes, your eyes are going to start moving. I know it. So I'm having a staring contest with these dolls. And I'm looking at them. Now, I used to date this chick, and she had the same type of dolls in her house. And she had them in her room, too. So whenever, I'd be spend a night with her or whatnot, I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking at these dolls, and I'm like, I know these jokers are alive. I can feel it in my spirit. There's a spirit inside these dolls. I know it. You know what I'm saying? I know these spirits are in there. Now, when I was in the service, I used to go to this church, and it was a Catholic church. And we would go in there and also use the church and pray, but we weren't Catholic. We were Pentecostals. But since it was on the grounds of, the military, they would also let church people go in there and use the facility. But it was basically a Catholic church because the military preachers, they're not preachers, they're pastors, I guess, but they're Catholic. They're of the Catholic faith. So I went in there and we would go in there and pray and just have prayer sessions. And one day I was just standing there and I was looking at the place where they give confession. And I'm staring at this place and I'm staring, like, you go behind there, you tell, the pastor, whatever, and you have confession, you come out. And I'm like, there's a spirit in there. And I can feel it. There are spirits hiding in the confession place. I know there is. And then one of the other guys who went to church with me, he walked up to me and he said, what's going on? And I said, there's a spirit in there. And he turned around and he looked and he said, yeah, I could feel it too. And so we started praying about it. I'm saying all this to say, if you have statues in your house, you have any idols, any figurines, any dolls, any of that in your house, get that out of your house because they can and will be possessed. And if you are playing with them, if you're talking to them, if your kids are talking to them, you are asking a force, a life force to enter into these dolls or whatever. And when they do, they are not going to be on your side.